Okay, hello guys. We should be on live from the trading room. So hi everyone. Happy to be with you today again. Let me know in the chat if the sound is good. And guys, where are you from? Maybe there are some new traders today. That want to sit with us. Might be interesting. I also have some positions, so I might be managing it. Maybe also opening other position today. We might have some opportunity. The market crashed down yesterday, so sound is good. Perfect. Okay, thanks. Yeah, but from Texas as usual. I know where you're from. Lucian, UK, California. We have someone from India. In California, it should be like the very early morning, maybe, I don't know, 5 a.m., 4 a.m. So yeah, thank you for being there. Six a.m. Okay, that's fine. If you're someone that wake up early, that should be fine. New Zealand or Netherlands maybe. Yeah, I believe it's Netherlands. Okay, guys, thank you for the feedback on the chat. Maybe guys, if you have some insight about how was your trading day yesterday, very surprising news. A lot of volatility. I hope you guys had some stop losses set before, or if you were in the good way, that's an interesting bunch of profit that you could already take if it's for intraday trading. So that's interesting. Okay, let's move into MT5 meanwhile. But here was my main position from yesterday. I react after the news. My mindset as a trader is generally the market goes back to the mean, and after we have the event and the huge let's say strengthens of the dollar. Let's say the dollar index yesterday pushed up very strongly. And generally, when you have a big spike like that at some time, okay, I expect the market to retrace and cut back to the mean. And especially with dollar yen, I checked in the dollar yen that already, guys, in the daily chart we are overextended. I'm still repeating that over and over, and the trend is still very bullish. Okay, it's very difficult to take the short here, but again, I will be exciting the market early today. Might be at the demand here where we might have some reaction. I could already put my stop loss to break even. I wanted to show you how I would manage that trade, but I'm very close of exiting this trade here. So I was very patient for that one. I think I opened the sell around that area. Then the market pushed against me, but again, my stop loss was set. The market didn't make an higher high, so it was totally fine for me. I could already move my stop loss to break even and even put my stop loss here, which would be my trailing stop. I know that yesterday, if some of you were in the trading room with Saul opened a buy for a short term. So I also looked at about what he did, and it was very interesting because again we have two different mindset, and he succeeded to finish it in a good profit after he was very close of the stop loss and he managed it very well. And in my case, I was in the opposite side, and I was again patient, waiting that the market come with me. I believe that yesterday, if you guys want to remember me for people that were here yesterday, but you were opening a buy here, and then so just after the news, you were opening a buy here, and then here, and then here, and then he put the stop loss, you know, very below that, and then the market goes in his way and finish it in profit. So also here was an interesting setup yesterday, but in my case, I was looking for doing the opposite. Okay, Saul were looking here for a buy, and I was looking for a short. So again, this is all trading is, and you know, I'm still comfortable with my my strategy and my mindset to how the price can go back to the mean, especially here on the dollar yen, when on the daily chart and on the H4 chart. Let's say on the daily chart, but also on the weekly chart, the market is over and overextended. Okay, here might be you see on the swing trade might be a double top. Okay, actually it's a double top. So maybe we can take, you know, partial profit here and then let it go down even to I don't know, maybe 50 Fibonacci level, which will be around that area. You see the red line that I put. But you know, I don't want to be very greedy here. It's a very interesting profit already that I could take. So yeah, interesting movement yesterday. And yeah, it seems the market want to break down maybe straight to my TPR. I would be very happy to wait for that. Again, the demand is here. Okay, so the price might go straight to the demand, and here we're gonna have some buyers. In my opinion, I want to exit the market before, as I believe that we have here a consolidation zone where the average price is in the middle. So I expect closely the price to get back to you know, that middle space. I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to hold it until the demand, at least here. Regarding my second position, I have the pound dollar. It's not the best execution here, but again, I'm looking for M15 charts, and here we had already a first retest that the market get back, and here we are, you know, starting to again make a retest in this is the pound dollar, for example. I have a very tight stop loss, and this is for me a key zone. Maybe my stop loss is too close, but here it's definitely a key zone in my opinion. Okay, so that's why I'm going for. I'm comfortable with. Again, the execution is not the best. I opened it a bit here. It was a bit early for me. So if we make a new high, the price will go to my stop loss. But again, I'm fine. You know, I'm trying to. I believe that if the market here goes to my stop loss, so in the dollar yen, it will go to my take profit. And actually, we break here. So. My last position, guys, is on the dollar CAD. It's quite the same setup of the dollar yen. Let me show you this in a minute. You see it's H4. We have already. This is something I already sell here. Then the market on the news pushed up again. And again, we are on a daily resistance level that keep respecting. On the H1, I find here this consolidation zone very interesting for me. Again, the execution is not at the best, it's not at the top. But the risk reward is in my favor, so again, we have this long area supply that we don't want to be buyers here, you know, guys. That's something I keep explaining and continuing, but I will not expect for a breakout. This is a zone that the market keeps reacting. I think we have some news on oil that also might be moving the CAD today. I think we have crude oil inventories. Gillo, hi Frank, how are you? I see sometimes some of you post in the Facebook support team. Let's say I like and agree with some of your analysis. So good job, continue. Yeah, I might be managing it a bit different in the pound. I don't want my stop loss to be taking. You know, the market can push against me here. Yeah, on the dollar CAD we are going straight to the TP, so that's fine. That's a good swing, not swing, but daily trade from yesterday. Again, the price come back to the mean. Maybe in the H4 chart we can continue on the upside, but again, on the M30 minutes, when you have a huge spike like that, okay, you don't want to be a buyers here for a day trade. Okay, yesterday for Saul it worked because he analyzed it in a different way, in a M5 and M1. But if you have the bigger time frame and then you understand that the market need to calm down, but also after the huge daily chart movement, so this is quite interesting. Okay, so I'm here looking my profit. Here on the pound, I think I will manage it a bit differently. We are still in the zone. It's going straight to my stop loss. And I think the market can here overreact, so I might be opening another partial entry here. And I think the risk is okay. We have here only few pips. I will open my second sell here at the top. So my average price is definitely here on the middle. So that's fine. And again, my stop loss would be above. Well, guys, do you have any questions on the chat? Maybe I have some position already. I think I explained most of them. We might be looking at the opening of the US indices today. I expect also on maybe I don't know what to expect from that day. You know, guys, when yesterday the market in the Nasdaq moved 5% down, which is one of the biggest, I think the biggest drop in one day since 2018. I don't know if the market will continue, will retrace, if the market will slow down, and here if the market slow down, we can play with, you know, in the in the consolidation zone. Here on the dollar yen, the market took my take profit. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, here at the top, at the bottom. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so that was a nice move on the dollar yen. That's something I expect already for a lot of time. Yeah, let's move into the Nasdaq. Okay, so this is the pre-market. The market dropped 5%. Again, if I follow, let's say, my point of view, I believe the market need to retrace a little bit on the upside, at least 50 fib, at least the 50 fib level here on the pound. I need to check what's happening. Why your leverage very big? I don't have actually an evaluation account in the 5ers. I have a Nostro account that is not available. It's only for the trading room actually. Use the Bollinger Bands in combination with stochastics. Not only I don't only use Bollinger Bands and I don't only use stochastics. I bring different aspect into the strategy I have or the plan I want to take. But here, for example, okay, let's have a very clear example on the M1, for example. Stochastics here, okay, it can also work in higher time frame, but and it's also worked in a consolidation zone when you have extreme movement. Here, for example, you see it's again an example, but you see we have here a resistance or a key zone in the M1 in the M1 chart. You have here stochastics above 80 starting to cross. So you see there is here let's say less power to the buyers, especially here. And at the Bollinger Bands, you see that the average price is around here, and we are actually at the top. We are actually at the 20 standard deviation. So here, for example, in the M1 minute, it will be a sell signal. Okay, that's, let's say, the main foundation of how I view the market. But this is not only that. This is not only that. Here it's on M1. Sometime on M30 you have different aspect to look at. You see on the dollar yen it was a bit more complex. Okay, here we had a huge spike, then the market retrace here, continue, and then goes back to the mean, for example. But let's say the main criteria would be something that I called reversion to the mean. I already explained many times on my trading room. I'm still continuing to explain it for people that are new to the trading room. This is my own mindset. This is how I view the market. You guys can have completely different approach, because generally when you expect the market to reverse to go back to the mean, you go against the trend. Okay, here you will say, oh, the trend is very bullish, I don't want to be sell. In my case, I expect the market to go back, let's say, to the average price, or I don't know, we can call it. I should maybe develop other quantitative method to find this, to be, let's say, more accurate. But this is my main methodology to work. Hey Frank, I think you went in the kitchen at the bad moment. So guys, you should be looking at the calendar days, economic calendar every day. And here CPI, I think, was very naughty. A lot of movement and stop loss probably taken. Yeah, you're welcome, sis. I hope that helps a bit. But if you can also go back to some of my previous trading room, it will not be like the live market. It will be the market from maybe a few days ago. But you might understand a little bit my behavior and my approach, most likely. And of course, this is an approach that I feel comfortable with. Some traders, would like to continue with the trend, and sometimes I will go with the trend. Okay, let's say for example in the euro dollar, if we find an example, yeah, let's open the euro dollar. See what I explained until now. It works very well when you have a consolidation zone, because you have a support, you have a resistance, and the market will bounce during that phase. But we know together that the market will never stand in a range during an infinite amount of time. Okay, generally the market will push in one or other side. For example, here on the daily chart of the euro dollar, we know it's a very bearish trend. We know it for a long time already. And sometimes what I expect here is, you see, we have, this is for me the average price. Okay, let's say I don't have a quantitative method to get that, but I expect the market to be here. And then you see all the time the market goes into an extreme point. Okay, and you will see also with Bollinger Bands here that works very well. For example, if I go to the H4 chart, here that works quite nice. You see we had a volatility movement. Bollinger Bands, we are at the top of the standard deviation, and then the market goes back to the mean, which is here. The same here. Okay, we can expect here the same approach. Okay, the market pushed very nicely after the news of yesterday, so that's nice. But again, the market will continue with the market. The market will continue with the market. Maybe that's not an proper English, but you see the market here pushed. Again, 20 standard deviation, goes back, make a reaction. Of course, it was after news, but and again, you can apply this type of methodology in different time frame, in different assets. And you can try to find where it works better for you and your analysis. It's a complex of all of things. Can be a price action also. Yeah, the dollar CAD might be a bit the same. I think it might be the trend already over a period of time. This might be the average price here, which is the middle. Okay, so you see here, for example, we already got the reaction. We go back to the mean. Again, the market push here. So of course we might have an overextended movement. Sometimes it happens. But again, I expect the market again to get back a little bit to the average price. Hi Ruben, do you have a tip for this? One, sometime I trade really clean. Second, the other day I'm blasting 30 markets out of a day. First of all, I think you're not alone. Okay, it happens sometimes to me, a lot of time, and it's happened to other guys here on the chat. The answer to that will be only, first of all, psychology. Let's say if you can work on yourself, and the second will be risk management or whatever. Okay, let's say you have to put for yourself a trading plan very, let's say when you trade very clean, maybe you follow a plan that you should follow the same day after. Okay, if in your trading plan it's written, okay, I have X amount of money, and I can lose today no more than $200, on an example. When you lose $200, this may be very difficult to do, but you should go away of the computer. Maybe close the screen, close everything, go outside, go to your sport, go take a coffee, go outside with your friend, take a beer. I don't know what, but it's very difficult for the psychology. sometimes happens again to me, and it's happened to everyone. But the fact that being disciplined, and the fact that you're probably trading alone with your own money, or with a prop firm, there is no one above you that will tell you, hey, you reached $200, okay, and $200 loss today. It's not your fault. Let's say you don't have someone above you, so that's it. But for example, when I worked in a speculative fund in options, I had, let's say, a trading plan to follow, not a trading plan, but a risk plan to follow per day. For example, the first week I came, I couldn't lose more than $500 per day. Okay, and I know that it was my work. I went every day there, and of course you don't have a clue what is option at the beginning. You try very hard. It's very difficult, and then you go to the minus $500, and you say, okay, if I open another position, I will get fired. It's not the same that way. You are alone against you, so it's you against you. Okay, there is no one above you. But if you have, this psychological switch in your head that will tell you, okay, let's say I have someone above me that, if I breach that, I will take a clap in my face. That can work, okay? So being disciplined, like when I was in this fund, learned me a lot of things. Of course, it's very different than trading alone, definitely. Sport, sitting clean, sleep, etc. Any additional tips are much appreciated. I think the tip I just explained is the fact that you should give you a limit for your trading day. Either that will be in a winning day, or either it will be in a losing day. Then it will set your, let's say, your limit in the two sides. Then you will have, let's say, let's say a call to, when you have, let's say, I talked with Gil a lot of time regarding that, which is the CEO of the 5ers. That in tennis, for example, we played both tennis. In tennis, you have a limitation. The balls cannot go after the baseline. In trading, there is no, in the chart, let's say, or in trading in general, there is no baseline, there is no line. You see, you can go over and over. And if you don't set, let's say, your own court center, you will be dead. You cannot survive in trading if you don't put your own limit. So this is my main tip. It depends. Maybe for you, it will be after the daily loss, going to sports, eating clean. It depends to everyone. Hi Cyril, hope you're well. 1 minute before the opening in the US indices, we will check what's going on. TP pound, where we should be. Yeah, my first TP will be here, which is also a key zone you see on the M15. It was a resistance, then breakout, support here at the bottom of the Bollinger Band. So this will be my first TP. If we reach here, I will remove my stop loss to break even for the next one. And of course, I expect the market to maybe go even lower, let's say here, which would be my second TP. Okay, the market have just opened. But you see, for example, this type here of zone, after a 5% movement in the US indices, for example, and then you came to the pre-market, you cannot expect a lot of movement, okay? So the market bounced here one time, second time, so you expect the market here to bounce also. This also may be some, any strategy that you can work on. When you have like 3%, 4% ups or down movement in indices, or maybe here, on the euro dollar. Let's say the euro dollar pushed 150 pips one day. Let's say the ASEAN session, it will be very, I expect it to be very quiet and then to play within a range. And here, using Bollinger Bands and stochastics will be very useful, very, very easy, to find this consolidation. Of course, what is very difficult is you don't know when the consolidation start. So of course, that's something you should learn from and expect. Takes me a lot of time. Do you use trailing stop losses? Not from an automatically. Let's say I don't use trailing stop loss automatically, but when I for my dollar yen position, for example, yes, I did. It's only hard to manage the trade. My entry was around here, which is the red line. If I remember, let's put the trade history to understand what's happened. Okay, so I opened the sell here. Then my stop loss was above the high. Then the market pushed here, and when the market reached this area, I removed my stop loss to break even. Okay, let's say. And then the market continued to push. I put my stop loss here, and then I wanted to close around that area, which is around the average price of this zone. You see, I exit just here. I put my trailing stop loss, you see, as a bracket. Let's say here. So yeah, I'm using trailing stop loss, not all the time, and not from an automatically manner. I put my trailing stop loss manually if I'm in front of the market. If I may ask, do you have a fundamental reason for taking your trades? That's a very good question. Generally on Monday, I'm talking about fundamental and understanding of macro environment and what can be my expectation, and to take some trades here. For example, in when you have M5 charts on the pound dollar, there is no fundamental reason to move the price in a matter of few hours. Okay, if I believe that fundamental is working for a movement of weekly chart or even monthly, but using a M15 chart or M5 charts and expecting a fundamental reason to play with, I don't think so. I don't think it's working. The fact is that when I traded options, which is completely different than trading Forex, fundamental can definitely move the, let's say, option structure in a matter of day. Okay, maybe not hours, because it will be the same reason, but in a matter of days. So yeah, in the euro dollar, for example, if you want to have my fundamental analysis in the long term, okay, I don't think it will be. Of course, the euro is very weak, the dollar is very strong. We know that there is inflation. My fundamental reason will be like in the next years from now. So you see, it's even not a weekly analysis, but from a yearly movement, I expect the euro dollar to be above 1. Okay, actually we are 0.99. The euro is still very weak, but again, it will not be, let's say, I can explain that. Sustainable. It will not be sustainable for Europe to have a euro very weak. And same, you can also apply an understanding of technical reason to what also expect the market to move back. Here, for me, it's a huge derivation from the mean. Okay, so the market moved 20% which is around 2,400 pips in less than a year. No, sorry, it's maybe 2 years. How much it will be here? It will be May 2021, 1 year and a half. Okay, so it's a very huge movement. So I expect the market, maybe we can continue a lot lower, and then we can go back, a little bit. But again, to conclude with what I'm talking about, I don't have fundamental reason when I have a trade in a H1 or 30 minutes. Let's say that the institution that are using fundamental analysis to take some positions in the market will be banks and hedge funds, because they have position for years and sometimes decades. Okay, so most of those institutions are looking for fundamental analysis. They are looking at the GDP, and they are looking at interest rate, and they are looking at bonds, and a lot of different things that are linked to economy. And it's more like talking about investment, okay? It's not about trading. And again, some people can tell, yeah, but we have some news. We have I don't know, we have in the Forex I'm talking about. Maybe in commodities it's a bit different, because in commodities, when you have the numbers of supply and demand, and when you have a crisis, a geopolitical crisis, it can move a lot the market. But when you have some news in the Forex, like I don't know what type of news we can have, but you will never know when this news will affect or not the market, if the price is priced or not. So yeah, that's my explanation. But if someone here is trading using fundamental analysis in a matter of daily trade, I would be very interesting to talk and discuss about that. So if someone on the chat is using fundamental analysis in order to trade, M5 chart or daily, maybe not daily chart, but H1 chart, 30-minute chart, in a matter of intraday, I would be very interesting to discuss about. This is something I'm not, doing in a matter of day. Yes, I'm a trader. How many accounts have you burned? I know it's a very private question, but I wonder if you also made those mistakes. How many years are you a trader? I never blown an account. I have 100% success rate. No, I'm joking. Yeah, like everyone, we all here have burned accounts, and it will happen to everyone that's starting this say trading journey. That will be with the 5ers. When you come at the 5ers and you get an evaluation account, and you get a bootcamp account also, for example, we don't expect you to pass it at the first time. Okay, we have traders that failed 10 times, 20 times, and then they succeed, and then they failed again. And they learn in the process, they learn their journey, and then they become more consistent, and they have PM1, PM2, goes to PM3, PM4, even PM5 levels. That's awesome to say that. But to go back to your question, I don't want to explain to answer the question aside. High blue, let's say, I don't know, 3-4 accounts. And of course it takes time to be consistent. It can take. I think that a trader that have enough experience will be trading the market at least. I don't want to be difficult on that perspective, but it will be 5 years. It will be 5 years, and I've been in the market let's say around 5 years now. And I start by trading options, which is completely different again than trading Forex, and it gives me a lot of tools to understand the market. So yeah. And guys, I just want to remind, if you have someone, today there is a lot of social media, there is a lot of YouTube, there is a lot of things, and yeah, I have a 80% success rate, I made $1 million of PNL. I cannot believe that. Actually, okay, someone that's selling signals is if he's, let's say, he's selling signals and it's working, why he don't have a billions accounts and that's it, and trade for himself? So there is a lot of different things, that we need to be very careful actually today, generally in trading. Consistency is the key, but difficult to achieve. Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think that someone that is very consistent and it's part of the trading team here at the 5ers, it's Gary Langley. This guy, I've been looking also what he does in trading in his account, and he knows perfectly how to manage the exposure, to manage the risk at any time. So this is actually a consistent trader. I invite you to find some of the video of Gary in YouTube. This is a very experienced trader. He's actually definitely know what he's doing in the market. So, and of course, I think he might also have different approach than me. Each trader have his own approach. So that's why, guys, learning support and resistance, only an example, but learning support and resistance, and then think that you will be like $1 million trader, it will not work. Okay, you have to develop your own strategy that works for you and not copy the strategy for anyone else. Gary is actually doing his own strategy. He's comfortable by doing this. Maybe what he will learn to me, it will not work. So of course you can take some tools and some mindset of Gary, and then take some mindset from anyone else, combine everything together, and after that have your own let's say mindset for yourself. Yeah, I appreciate the feedback, Bonik. Thank you. What's the process for having an account with the 5ers? Definitely easy. You go on the website. We have actually 2 programs. We have the bootcamp and we have the instant funding. And then you actually pay for an evaluation fee. And actually you join the program to get more capital if you succeed. So I invite you to go on the website. Yeah, I've been talking here. I've just been missing something on the Nasdaq. No way. Easy to say, but that might be something I generally look for at the opening of the Nasdaq. Sometimes huge movement on the side, and then the market consolidates here on M1 and then goes back to the mean. That's something I wanted to do, but anyway, I've been talking about different things that I believe, guys, might be interesting for you to know. If the Nasdaq continue to push, I believe this is real, and the dollar might be depreciate. Can you repeat the name of that person, please? You said Gary Langley, which is the scruffy. You can find him on YouTube, the scruffy trader. He also made some webinar with us, so you might be looking some webinars that we have on our YouTube page, I think. yeah, the market will continue to push here. We didn't reach yet here the high of stochastics. The market might goes back to the mean. Maybe we have this first zone, and the pound dollar we are not so far of taking the loss. Yeah, maybe yeah, these are interesting here, very interesting. Yeah, I will open a sell here on the Nasdaq. Probably I will continue building the position. I will explain why. And this idea came just right now. Not right now, but meanwhile I'm talking with you guys, I'm still thinking about the market. The market yesterday moved down 5% down. The fact is that today I don't know how much power the market have, either on the upside or either on the downside. I don't know what type of power the market have today. Okay, maybe the market need to refresh, need to slow down. So again, I will take this very short scalp with a stop loss just above the high of the pre-market, and expecting the market to get back a little bit here to the mean. That's something I'm looking for. Let's see if it's working. And of course, the reason might be also when the market moved down 5%, the market can go back 2% up today, to price again the market. But here, it's a very, very fast scalp. I will already move my stop loss to break even here. In order to close it. Handy. I also find I lose my discipline and forget my basic rules, which usually leads to losses. We are everyone taking losses here, so which usually leads to losses. I'm also losing sometimes, and it's not. Losses shouldn't be like something bad for you. It's only the cost of your trading strategy. Everyone needs to know how to take losses, and it's part of the cost of trading. Okay, when you have a company and when you invest, you need to have some cost in order to finance yourself, or I don't know, to get some profit. So sometimes losses it's part of your strategy and it's part of your business. So that's how I view that. How much does the 5ers evaluation phase cost, and after that what next? You can go on the 5ers website. You will www.the5ers.com, and you check the price here. There is different price, different account size. Okay, I will close the Nasdaq here. Already I think the market have already made this interesting push. So yeah, guys, I think I did my job today. I'm gladly happy. Again, I should be very patient for the pound dollar, but again, if the Nasdaq don't succeed to make an higher high for today, at least above that one, the dollar will continue to be stronger, and we will see here on the pound movement down. The fact here on the pound, you see it's a huge, let's say, compression. Okay, the high here is very not enough. You see the market is compressing. See, when you have some time of compression, at some point the market will go strong in one side. And I expect here there is probably, there is not, but there is divergence. I'm not using divergence, but I know that some of you guys are using it. You know, you have actually this one, which is a divergence. Okay, here the market make a new high and stochastics we are lower. Might be interesting to follow and to continue. I will make a conclusion of that trade probably on Monday. Thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for being there. In any way, the trading room is finished. Generally, it takes around 50 minutes to discuss. I hope you guys appreciate the trading room as usual. You know, it's taking 1 hour of our time. We have a lot of work here at the 5ers. We are all the time working with new projects, new stuff. I want to remind that we came with a new project called Trade the Pool, which is trading stocks. I invite you to find and go out with this program. It's a very interesting program, new model. And again, we will meet each other on Monday for the weekly forecast as usual, guys. I wish you a nice end of the day. Be careful with that week. You know, it's 5% yesterday. Today the market might, you know, taking some fresh air. Can continue, but again, you guys should be very careful and take some precaution regarding your risk. Thank you guys for being with me today. I wish you a nice end of the day. Bye bye, guys.